to talk about this thing that's going on. So people really overestimate how important tech is in online business, and they really devalue how important the human connection is, and it's everything. I was talking with my friend the other day, and we were having this great conversation about how relationship-based selling is so important, and I had misspelled the word relationships, of all things. Like, I'm pretty decent at spelling, but I misspelled it, and I put REAL and then relationship, and I was like, that was the best Freudian slip ever, because it should be real. Like, we need to make real connections with people, and that is what gives us the opportunity for you to help them. And the way that you help them is by offering your product or service or whatever it is. And people get really down on the fact that, like, oh, I have this funnel, it's not working, my page isn't working, my emails aren't working, blah, 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 blah. And really, they don't realize that I've worked with a lot of big businesses, multi-million-dollar launches. And on the top end, you only see the tech. But at the very bottom, the people who are actually buying, they probably have some sort of connection, whether that was live chat, they visited the sale page multiple times, and they get an ad saying, here's our phone number, give us a call. And there's people on the end of those calls, whether that is the person who is the course creator, or their wife, or their wife's best friend that they've gotten the like FAQ Bible for. And it's like, if you have these questions, give these answers. So I think that we need to just ground ourselves into the reality of, like, hey, if you are relying on tech and it's not working, that's actually pretty normal. And we need to introduce this human element. One thing I love to do, I don't always get the chance to do it, but if I have the chance, I will personally email new subscribers and say, like, hey, I'm a real person. Like, I would love to hear what you're up to. Just like, let me know. Like, I might be able to point you in the direction of something that can help. Like, I've got a lot of videos. I've got a lot of blog posts. I just know a lot. Like, tell me your jam. I can help. And you would not believe, like, not everyone answers back, but the people who do are like floored. And they give like real, like juicy, honest, long answers that, like, again, it's like what I'm just talking about, talking to your ideal client and customer. Like, these are these people pouring their heart and soul out to me, all because I had the decency to treat them like a regular, amazing person that they are. And it doesn't take long, like, it doesn't take long to make that connection, but it's everything. And think about it. Like, if you're paying for leads, and Facebook advertising right now, I don't know if you know, but it's like crazy right now. It's like super expensive. If you are paying $5, $10 a lead, why not treat them like absolute gold and give them everything that you've got straight out of the gate? Like, 2 minutes to send a quick little, hey, I'm here email can result in thousands of dollars. I like to think of this as when I was working in sales, I was actually working as a jewelry salesperson. People would come in for a $5 polishing cloth, and a lot of salespeople wouldn't give them the time of day. I would chat to them. I'd be like, let's shoot the breeze. You know what? How many of those sales turned into, it was a $5 sale, and within a couple months, it would turn into a $10,000 sale, or a $20,000 sale, or a $30,000 sale, all because I treated them like a person, and we built a relationship, and they became my buddy. If you treat people like that, it's amazing what happens. So email your subscribers personally. Another thing I love to do is Insta stories and Facebook stories right now are great. You can see who is watching you. You can see who's watching their stories. Click through to their story and then comment on it. They're in your world. So they're in your sphere. They're not a cold lead anymore. They're slightly warm. So therefore, your chance of actually making a connection with them is much higher than if you're just blasting an ad out to cold ice cold people. So start that conversation. In the direct messages, people are making a lot of money. And yes, it takes a little bit of work. And sometimes I know a lot of people that will hire someone to start this process, just to break the ice, see who's going to connect. But it's like, start those conversations, and then the return is so big with time. Another thing to keep in mind is that a lot of sales may not happen right away. And we're in such this like instant response world. And we have to realize that we're sowing the seeds for the future. even if they don't buy anything or they're not ready or whatever, leave them feeling great. Leave them with an asset. Give them a plan to be like, hey, you know what? You're not ready yet. That's cool. Like, you know what? If I were you, I would do X thing. So get them prepared to take the next step. And I have a lot of people coming back that I did that years ago for, and they're like, you know what? I finally put that stuff into place and I'm ready. Let's do this. And it's just such an incredibly powerful way to build your customer pipeline in a way that feels good and aligned, and you're going to get so much better results than doing the quick sale that you're trying to like force and it just doesn't feel good.
And I love that. I mean, just everything that you mentioned there really is building trust through relationship, and it is fostering a relationship, and it really is. I mean, it is the sales process. I mean, matter of fact, it's an effective sales process. It's not just the sales process; it's the effective sales process. It says, I'm just not trying to extract your credit card number, from you. I am trying to say, how do we add value, and how do we really have a transaction that is a win-win for both of us.
Oh, totally. I just got chills when you're saying that.
But it truly is. So when they're finished, with whatever that transaction is, there's a sense that I've gained some, she's gained some. It's a fair exchange, and not only that, is we've developed a relationship. I mean,
yeah.
People want to buy from people that they know, like, and trust type. The whole scenario, and you're developing that, through emails, new subscribers, through Insta stories, through I like the idea of even giving away something even to non-buyers. I mean, I wrote that down too, just the whole idea that says, you're not penalized necessarily because you've chosen not to buy right now. And it's not, maybe it's not a no, maybe it's just not a not yet.